Rev up your engine! Today I'm going to tell you the truth about the Mustang EcoBoost 4-cylinder engine Mustang. In this case, it's a 2016. I'm going to show you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. We'll start with the likes. Well, it's a new aggressive Mustang style. I like the style. It's got a lot of the classic ideas in it. It's a nice looking car. There's no arguing that. The upgraded suspension from the older ones is a real improvement. They really handle well. And under the hood, this one, it's a 4-cylinder engine. And you might say, a 4-cylinder engine. Well, this 4-cylinder engine puts out 310 horsepower. And to give you a comparison, a 66 Mustang V8 stock put out 164 horsepower. This puts out a lot more than that, 310. And when you go inside, it's a classic Mustang, set up with the old-fashioned style gauges. They're still digital, but they look analog. And this particular one has almost 93,000 miles on it. Starts right up.
And that'll do it for today's show.
Now, granted, it doesn't make the noise of a V8 one does. But with 301 horsepower, it's got plenty of get up and go. It has all the modern conveniences, steering column controls. Now this particular one has a 6-speed automatic transmission. I would love the standard myself, but this is a 6-speed automatic. But it does have the paddle shifter, so you can paddle shift it. And if you're talking a newer one, you can get that 10-speed automatic that Ford and Chevy jointly put together, and then of course they fell apart. But that 10-speed automatic, I do have to say, the ones I've driven, I can drive faster in those than I can manually shift it myself. The computers on those have insane control. They have various levels of driving, and they're all set up to shift different ways to get more power or better gas mileage. It gets about 31 miles a gallon on a highway if you don't dog it. So it actually does get good gas mileage. The last time I seriously drove 2016 Mustang that had a V8 engine in it, I only got about 8 miles a gallon driving the thing around because I drove it really hard. 4-cylinder engines, they do get better gas mileage. An interesting thing about this setup is you got 301 horsepower if you run it on premium gas. But if you run it on regular gas, it will run perfectly fine. It'll just lose a few of those ponies and be 200-something horsepower. You don't want to buy premium gas, it'll run perfectly fine on regular gas. It just won't have as much speed. And there, the choice is yours. So you're not stuck with you always have to use regular gas. But on the other hand, that's also the negative aspects. It's a 4-cylinder engine, revs higher, it uses a turbocharger to get more power, and gasoline direct injection. That's a lot extra pressure. Now so far this one's got like 90,000 miles on it. Customers had no problems with it. It's worked perfectly fine. He does a lot of highway driving on it, and it's held up quite well. But realize, as they age, a highly stressed 4-cylinder engine with extremely high pressure gasoline direct injectors and a turbocharger, if you drive it hard, yes, it is going to wear out faster than a normal engine, especially a V8 engine that doesn't have the strain. Because yes, this 4-cylinder engine does have horsepower and torque. It actually has more torque than it does horsepower, but that's done at higher RPMs, which of course wears the engine out faster. Just like the gas mileage, you can get 31 miles a gallon if you drive this thing going 60 miles on a highway, just cruising. But not if you're accelerating all the time, slamming on the brake, accelerating. You'll never get that kind of gas mileage. Now the newer 10-speed automatics that come with these 4-cylinder turbos, they get even better gas mileage because out of those 10 speeds, 3 of them are overdrive speeds. So on the highway, it gets even better gas mileage than this one. And on the more modern one with that fancy 10-speed automatic, that's the same 10-speed automatic they put in their pickup trucks and in the Mustangs with the big V8 engines. So it has no problem taking the power of this 4-cylinder engine. You're not going to overtax it. With this 6-speed automatic, my customer owns this, is a relatively conservative driver. It still shifts perfectly fine, but I've had customers that were much more aggressive drivers, and the 6-speed automatic is the first thing that's going to wear out if you put those 301 ponies all the time flooring it with the 6-speed automatic transmission. But the newer ones with the 10-speed automatic, no, they can take it. I've got customers with the big trucks and the big V8 Mustangs with those 10-speed automatics. And the only problem they had was originally they had a little software glitch they had to reprogram. But the trannies themselves are really solid units. And hooking them up to a 4-cylinder engine is no problem. Of course, they're easier to work on. There's actually working space. Look at this. I get all kinds of room in here for working on it. You do have to work on it if you want to modify it. There's a lot of room to do work on. Because let's face it, this Mustang, it was designed to fit a V8 engine in it. You put a 4-cylinder in, you can have a lot of working space. It's not all cramped in. And really, you go back years ago when they made the little Mustangs that had the 4-cylinder engine in it, man, those were terrible engines. They could barely get out of their own way. They just, as far as I was concerned, weren't real Mustangs. But with 301 horsepower on this, it certainly is a real Mustang. Big discs on the front and in the back. And if you're into modifications, these babies can be modified to the hilt. Mustangs have always been upgradable vehicles. You can put whatever you want. You want to put carbon fiber brakes, whatever you want to do. Stuff is available for these if you want. If you don't, you can just drive it around. Close the hood. Looks the same as any other Mustang. Got the pony, it's got the aggressive headlights. Great looking car. And when you consider the new ones, 2020, this is $25,000 starting with the 4-cylinder engine. They pretty much start at $35,000 with the V8 engine in them. Cause you'd be saving almost $10,000. Car looks exactly the same. Most of the features are the same. You're happy with 300-something horsepower anyways? Go ahead and get the 4-banger. You can get it with the same really good 10-speed automatic transmission 4 or 8. Either way, they still look like Mustangs. And if you're talking about a brand new one, the new 4-cylinder ones put out 330 horsepower if you get the high output 4-cylinder engine. Plenty enough horsepower. Just realize, like I always warn people, you can have insane power or you can have great gas mileage, but you can't combine both. If you drive this conservatively, yes, you can get 30-something miles a gallon on a highway, but not if you drive really aggressively all the time. So now you know the truth about these 4-cylinder EcoBoost Mustangs. And here's some bonus questions and answers. Here's some breaking news for your Toyota Supra fans, or I should say BMW Roadster fans. It looks like Toyota is going to announce during the Daytona race, because Toyota's a big sponsor there, that they're going to be able to buy a 4-cylinder Toyota Supra, also known as BMW Roadster, here in the United States. Now, this is no big shocker. They already sell them in Japan. It's, of course, a BMW 4-cylinder engine. It's in it. BMW builds the cars. The fancy one that they sell in Japan, 4-cylinder that has 255 horsepower. There's also a smaller version that's 225, and I'm sure they'll sell only the higher one in the United States. To me, this is really kind of bizarre because the big thing about the Supras was that they had a 6-cylinder engine. And now if they're going to offer a 4-cylinder version, the Supra, instead of the BMW 6, I'm sure they're not going to give them away. I saw the price tag on a new Supra at the auto show a couple weeks ago. Man, I was lambasted by what they're asking for those things. I guess they're too much, so now they're going to sell the 4-cylinder version that's a little bit cheaper. Just realize, as I said before, this isn't really a Toyota, it's a BMW. It's made by BMW in a BMW factory. They are going to be selling them, though. It looks like they're going to make an announcement in a week or two. PC36 says, Scotty, I have a 2014 VW GTR. It's 40,000 miles. I bought 2 years ago used. I owe $13,000 on it now. The prior owner had the water pump replaced under warranty. In the past summer, the turbo went out, but it was covered under the 7-year warranty. The warranty is going to be up soon. Should I pay it off and keep it, or should I sell it where I can cover the loan? Sell it! Hey, come on. Let's use our heads, people. I tell you what garbage Volkswagen is making. Look at that. You have it as 40,000 miles now. And before it had 40,000 miles, the water pump went out. The turbocharger went out. They are just making these things like crap. They market the heck out of them, and they sell quite a bit of them. But you ask any honest mechanic like myself, they'll tell you the truth that they are endless money pits. And not just what I'm saying here. My own customers, every single customer of mine in the last 20 years, whoever bought a Volkswagen, said, Scotty, I'll never buy another Volkswagen again. It was a rolling pile of crap as it aged. Now, yeah, they're fun to drive when they're new with the turbos and everything, but they fall apart and they cost a fortune to fix. Get rid of that Volkswagen now. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.